Let's do
You
it.
are watching a master at work.
Yeah.
What is up, my little babies? Welcome to another episode of Hip Hop Aloo on the motherfucking couch today. We got one of the drippiest, one of the coolest, the man of the hour, Mikey Picasso. You got a Picasso in your house.
I do
Mikey.
not.
Mikey.
Get one.
I don't even, boy, because you've been going crazy lately.
Thank you.
I'm finna get straight into it. Why you go crazy in the underground like that?
Man, that was to me, I treated that like an away game. I already knew it was gonna be like a different crowd from like my normal crowd. So just going into it with that mindset, I kind of knew I had to go crazy. Like there was no option.
I like that. And then you came out, you and East got Selly. Y'all do the tracks from East Side.
That same night, the night we dropped it, we popped out and did them. Like
That's like
was that not
real.
perfect timing?
That was so like artist style. Like that's how you supposed to do it. So let me ask you, how did you and Selly come together on a project?
It's pretty easy, honestly. You know, over the years, we always have like tracks together. It's always like once we feel it's due time, we got to get one in.
Right.
But we kind of stacked up like 4 or 5 records, so we was kind of like at this point, like might as well just do the whole shebang. You know what I mean?
Right.
And really just do it like with 2 brands, cause like
Right.
I know he usually collabs with like Sodi, but just to do it with somebody outside of his brand, me as
Mhm.
well. So we kind of put both our bases together. It just made sense. It just made
What
sense.
what was that chemistry like? Did it take a minute for y'all to like mesh, or was it just like, let's go?
To be real, because I feel like we had so much records together, we kind of already knew how we worked.
Right.
But since he had got a situation over there and they opened up the studio, it was a lot easier because we was able to really cook. So to be honest with you, it was nice. We was in there like 4 a.m. like
4 a.m. How long
Yeah.
y'all was staying in the studio?
working like the whole night type shit. Like we really put in hours. A lot of people didn't know that. Like it took a lot of like linking up, you know, planning, replanning.
Yeah.
Like it was a process, but like we put in a lot of hours for sure.
So I've always wondered, like, so when artists do like compilation albums, or not really compilation album, but like a
collabs.
collab album, there it is. So do you guys go through the beat process together, or is it like, did you bring some to the table and he has some to the table and it's like, okay, let's just do this? Or
Yeah, it was a little bit of both because to be honest with you, obviously they got Rico over there. And then
right.
Selly produces too. So a lot of times when we was there, they always playing me samples or like beats. So I definitely got to pick a lot of the samples that they made. But also like I heard this hard ass beat from On My Way, the song Fade Away. He produced that. So I just knew like I'm like, bro, me and Selly making an album, like I need this.
Yeah.
And then I brought that to Selly just to show him, and like he was like, I'm with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's your input, that's what you want to do. So like it was really a little bit of everything. Like we kind of just made it work. But we definitely passed on beats. We didn't do every song.
like,
you know what I'm
no.
saying? Sometimes
Yeah.
we'll sit with one, like, we're gonna do this one. We like, nah, we just stopped feeling it. Like
Right.
we really didn't cheat the process, like just to say we put out 10 songs, you know what I mean?
It was like, yeah, no, this
We had
ain't
to
it.
make
And y'all
sure.
went so crazy, and like, Mikey, you own something right now. Like,
Man, I'm trying.
you are on something. Like, from this album to watching your Fifth Element freestyle, why did you trip like
Did
that?
I go crazy?
I ain't even gonna tell
Did
you,
I
because
go
I'm
crazy?
finna
Yeah,
tear that
I know,
reaction
I know.
up. You feel me?
Yeah.
But if you have not seen it, like, you went absolutely insane. Like, are
Thank
you
you.
feeling like different right now? Like, who is this Mikey Picasso? Come on, tell us what's really going on.
I definitely am. I feel a shift in like everything, just the way the city's moving right now. It's like I always knew it was a matter of timing before like I hit
Right.
everything. And sometimes it sucks when you're in the process of doing everything because I feel like you shouldn't roll it out too much prior. You know you got something coming. You know, like I'm about to fuck shit up, but I gotta be quiet because when I do announce it,
yeah.
I want the love to like go towards it. So that was kind of the whole thought process, but it feels right. Like now that I'm getting the love, like it feels like okay, this is what I expected. Like
Yeah.
it's not like oh, like dang, it's kind of like okay, this is what I work for. You know what I mean?
And you was just so comfortable up there. Like, where does that
Yeah,
comfort
so
come from? On stage?
I
Like,
think
anything
just
you
practicing, just rehearsing. Like to be honest with you, I knew a couple weeks prior. I had talked to OT on the phone, and he had told me he wanted me up there. And he was telling me like April, mid-April. So I knew a couple weeks before I was coming. So I was just like looking for beats. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just wrote 2 crazy verses and just trying on different beats, seeing what it sounded like. In you know, the Fifth Element, they want you to look good, so they let you do what you need to do. And I was just ready. Like
And you did that. You said, I ain't
definitely,
gonna do more. I'm gonna do
I didn't
two.
want to mess up no words. And like even if I would have, I rehearsed so much that I would have been able to like pick it up. Like if I did, you know what I mean? You kind of just got to be ready for that.
See, it's the rehearse. So how long do you usually rehearse before shows?
So shows, I feel like you should do a lot more because that's more physical activity, like getting up.
You be jumping, bouncing,
Yeah,
mosh
you
pit.
see me perform
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
so
we gonna get
yeah.
into that. Yeah.
Man, look, that can be very tiring, and if you're not in shape, a lot of times we sitting in the studio, we sitting doing this, we sitting doing
Yeah.
interviews,
Oh,
like,
I
bro,
didn't even think
it's
about
like,
that.
man, artists could get lazy physically as well, so it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's our biggest sleeper as artists that we not really working on that, myself included, like, I
Oh,
feel like
that's
I need to get on
game.
my physical, like, for performance purposes, like,
So
definitely.
what are some things you do to kind of get that?
To me, just perform. Like, I'll be in the house performing as if I was with the crowd,
Okay.
like, make sure nobody home. As soon as everybody
Just be in
leave,
there going
"Hey, turn
crazy.
it up." What? I'm
Family come,
literally
Mikey, what
jumping.
you
Yeah,
doing?
right, like, I've had some moments going up where I'm practicing freestyle, somebody popping on me, I'm like, "Oh, shit," but
That's dope because I mean that's how you know like you take your craft like serious like and
yeah.
anything you do, not even just like your music, but even your brand, your clothing. Like you have the swaggiest,
Thank
like
you.
most highest quality, clothing brand in the city.
Thank you.
When I get rich, I'ma just have all of it.
Go
I'ma just
ahead.
be so how do we begin the brand?
So that
Tell us
was
the beginning. How do we build the name? How do we pick the
definitely,
name?
like 2016, I believe. So I started doing music in 2015, but just doing it for a little bit, you learn the game as well. Like there ain't no
Yeah.
money in the music side of it, so you have to have something else to bring that in. And
Yeah.
then also just had to have a brand. Like I knew all my favorite artists had brands, so it was like I gotta have something that's attached to me.
Yeah.
And Live was pretty simple because my brother came over. He's like, "You should just call it Live because it's really like you taking chances, you really living, you're not
Mm.
doing a normal, just work till I'm 65, whatever age they got it now, like, and
Yeah.
then just still be broke, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you really got to take chances that way when you reach these levels in life. You're like, at least I did this or did that. So that was kind of like the meaning behind it. And then as far as imagery and just like the look, I wanted it to drip, but I didn't want to have no rapper merch.
And you definitely don't. You
You get
have
what I
like it's
mean?
like
Like, I didn't want people
fashion,
like
like
sometimes like people are like make it too much about the artist itself,
yeah,
and I feel
yeah.
like J. Cole, like I fuck with J. Cole, but I wouldn't necessarily want to rock like a shirt with just his face on it, you know what I'm saying? Like
Facts, facts.
sometimes I would rather just rock the brand. So
Yeah.
like Live, I was like, it just gotta look simple, but it gotta go with everything. So that was kind of the approach I took. Like Supreme.
Yeah.
It was just so
Oh, that's
simple.
a
It was so
yeah.
simple, but they was selling out. And like I feel like sometimes people get merch and then they have it and it's tight, and then on the back they just say something else, and it's like, bro, it's just too
Yeah.
much. Like just keep it simple. Like
That's dope. I like how you broke that down. So do you do like mood boards and stuff when you creating merch or how do you put your fits together? That's the real question because I need to take notes.
the
Don't
fits
hold
is
out on me,
easy,
please
yeah. That
don't.
part, cause I really honestly I feel like I've been like taking pride in dressing wise, like since school. So like that's something I'm just always mixing stuff
It's just
together,
in
seeing
you.
what's gonna look
That
good.
y'all make
Yeah.
me so mad with them
Hey,
answers. This just I just
that
got
that
it.
part for sure I can say, but to be honest with you, Lou, I've been trying so hard to do the vision board, and it doesn't like
You don't need
I
it.
don't always update it enough or like stay
Mm,
within those things. I'm doing so many things, and I haven't really truly committed to a vision board, which I'm trying to, but I feel like I will eventually.
yeah.
But like now, everything is so fast paced that I'm always just like forgetting, like, oh, I already did this, I already did this,
Yeah.
like to knock it off, and
Facts,
like,
facts.
so I'm definitely trying to master that part for sure.
So can we like expect like a huge fashion show one day?
Man, definitely, man. At the end of the day, right now, the goal is because I actually just recently got my LLC. So
Go
I want to
ahead.
basically try to like do the first two trial years,
Yeah.
do what I got to do on that. But once I could get the funds, through myself, like I would definitely want to just do a lot more, even with the merch, like outside of just the music, like a
Yeah.
storefront, a little pub, or something that people could pull up to,
Right.
like as far as that they could shop with me or get music or buy tickets or whatever the case may be. But that's definitely the goal, man.
And you're in a shop, right? Like the
Yeah, yeah.
clothing
So,
isn't. Tell us
shout
about
out
that.
Complete the Look Studios. That's my boy shop down at the Arts
Shout out
Factory.
to you.
And on the second floor, man, especially on first Fridays, it's always so packed over there, and
I've
you
seen
really get
it.
to see like a different side of the city.
I gotta make it out there.
Yeah, it's just obviously the strip everybody knows and everything, and
Yeah.
even like more downtown, like casino wise. But when you go a little bit further to the Arts District, it's a lot to offer down there. So it's definitely a good spot
Yeah, I
for it.
better go shop. So like with the Live brand, do you plan on like adding more artists to your brand or is it just
I would
you right
eventually. I
now?
would add artists to Live, like the brand label, everything we got going in general. If I can really put people in a position to like, if I can help them. Like, if they're already doing stuff that I can't do
Respect.
for
Yeah,
them, like,
yeah,
there's really
yeah.
no point for me to do it besides co-signing it. I could just share your post on
That's
my
love.
story, like, you
Mikey,
know
you
what I mean?
really a real one. Like, you are really one of the people in this game that I can say I've met, and
Trying, man.
you just do real things. Like, even when we first met, for those of y'all who don't know, like, it was at your Lit Fest. You know, you asked me to come out and host, and, like, the minute I met you, it was just like, game. Everybody know this story. Like, we had that conversation, and I'm like, "You, like, wise. Like, where does
Man,
all this
look,
this wisdom come from with you?"
2015 is when I started, so it's what year is it? It's already
Damn.
2023,
Oh my
so if I
gosh.
haven't picked up some type of knowledge, then I'm out here
Yeah,
kinda wasting
yeah.
time, to be real, so I feel like I was just these last couple years really looking at it like, you obviously, when you young, you just fearless, you just taking chances, you're not even paying attention to, like, what makes sense, what doesn't. As you get older, times are harder, you got families, like, you
Yeah.
paying bills, rent, and all of that, so it's like, it has to make sense, and you're like, "How can I realistically do this?" So, I just had those conversations with myself sometimes, like, "This ain't working, to be honest, this ain't really working.
Yeah.
This you should try this, you should try this."
And so how do you ever get down? I just see you always so upbeat, and I know we all have our days, but it's
All the
like,
time. What? Sometimes I'll be in the studio stuck. I don't be
really?
knowing what to yeah, it's times like that when I'm just like, "Man, I'm working too much. I'm not doing enough living." Like,
Mm.
and I'm like, "Bro,
Ooh,
for
that's
real."
real.
And then
That
you have to though, cause it's like I gotta be able to pay for this, and this. Like,
I
so it's like
swear, and it's
sometimes you
like,
be stuck. My main thing is car rides. I'm a car ride person.
ooh, them late night
What?
drives.
Go get something to
Woo!
eat. Go,
That
you know what I'm saying? Put
I
some
need
music on, just whatever you have to do to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And just get right,
So
man.
what's your go-to playlist? Like when you in that car, you in your head and it's like, I feel stuck.
So if I feel stuck, I definitely don't even sometimes go listen to instrumentals, man. I just go listen to some of my favorite old songs like from back in the day, like
Yeah.
stuff I came up on like when Big Sean was first popping, like I
Ooh.
might go put on Cushion Orange Juice, like Wiz, like
Ooh.
just like some old like stuff that I really grew up listening to and thinking like when I was at the young age of the fan bases when artists was trying to catch that, like
Yeah.
this is what I was like bumping, like this is what I like. And some of it isn't even too crazy, like lyric wise and all of that. And I'm noticing sometimes even mix wise, and I'm like, that's crazy. Once you
But
got
you
that,
couldn't tell
yeah,
us nothing.
once
It's
you
like,
got that sound and like people attract to it, like they just attract to it.
yeah, and
So
it's just like once they love you, they gonna take whatever. So
yeah.
let me ask you this. A lot of artists, like, no one really, well, I'm not gonna say no one, but it's not easy for a lot of artists to just say, you know what, F this. Why did I bleep myself out? Fuck this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put on my own festival. So what inspired you to start your own festival?
Man, that was like a long process because, when I first started doing music, I got that first initial love. Like, oh, you dropped a song, that was
Hmm.
dope. And it was like, okay, what's next? And I did a video and I got that love. But after like a year or so, I still hadn't really performed. And obviously, my music ain't that hot yet. I'm like 1 year in, I'm still trying to get good. You know how it is. So nobody's really checking for that. And so I was just always trying to figure out like a way to perform. But when I finally did start performing, I noticed at that point, I had done enough to circulate enough of a crowd to come, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But then I noticed like other people wouldn't bring anybody, and it was kind of just that. And I was just like,
talk
man,
about it.
I know this dude, this dude, this dude that are also killing stuff. Like, I bet if we could perform on the same night, it'll probably be crazy. So
Yeah,
it was definitely a goal in my mind for a while, but throwing shows, especially then, like lack of knowledge I had wasn't easy. Like I really didn't know what to do. And then I finally found somebody just at the bunkhouse, a situation I feel like made its way through the city. And
yeah.
when we got a chance and he asked me if I wanted to headline, I'm like, I will do it as long as I could pick these artists and just call it the Live Fest. And
That's
they was
love,
definitely
man.
okay with it. You know what I mean? He knew the brand and everything. So from there, we just kept doing it. I feel like we got to because it just kept
Yeah,
growing.
it's a big thing now. Like, so do you ever get the artist that hit you up and it's like, damn, bro, I can't fit all y'all on here. Like, how do you handle that?
100%. Honestly, like more this last year than anything, and that's the thing that I kind of didn't want to happen. Because to be real with you, I don't like even want to be in the promoter lane or like doing shows and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. I really just did that because it was like my brand, so I feel like I had to like eventually do it.
That's dope.
But like some people hit me up, they're like, "When's your next show? Like, how can I get on? Can I pay you to get on?" And I'm just like, bro, like honestly, the people I pick aren't even like I'm never looking at them like, oh, pay me for this or that. Like I'm just
Yeah,
trying to get them to perform that way I could get them content and like stuff like that. So I really pick people I genuinely enjoy, people that I listen to their music, people that I
that's
seen
dope.
perform before myself, like and seen them kill it. Like so it's like I just tell people, man, come out, really introduce yourself, like meet people,
And go
but
go
honestly, I don't
crazy.
even be knowing when I'm gonna do a show. Like, you know how it goes. Like, I'm not
This-
always. People will be like, "I know you got
When
something
is
to
the
work."
next one?
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
just
like,
about to ask.
man,
Okay, so what is it looking
yeah,
like for
yeah.
2023?
So as far as for sure, what I will say is definitely the Live Fest this year will either be in the summer or second half of the year. That's one that I'll for sure like put my all into doing. But outside of that, I do want to try to like see if we could hit like Cali, Arizona, like the small circuits that are like
Ooh.
around here. You know, we got enough people, you know, Sodi and everybody that we do. So it's like that's why I kind of did like the underground as well, because I knew when I go to like Cali and like
Mm-hmm.
Arizona and stuff, that's how it's gonna be. They just gonna be
Oh
looking at
yeah.
you.
New crowd.
Nobody knows your
But
music.
you stole the room. They was
Nobody
like,
knows your music. Like they're just gonna be staring at you. So I feel like you gotta eventually kind of get used to that. Just that way, when you do get in positions, like you
yeah.
said, try to steal the room.
Because your friends ain't there. Oh man, y'all
Exactly.
not gonna
Like,
cheer me on.
come on.
So let's get back to the music. So one thing that with your projects is you do 7 songs.
Hmm. I'm
What's this
glad you noticed that.
777 mean to you, Mikey?
Yeah. So
You
I like that.
spiritual. Like,
Yeah,
no,
I
you
like that
really
setup.
you
You
really in
ready?
tune.
Yeah.
You really in tune.
So basically, like once the SoundCloud era died off, I
Mm-hmm.
had like a lot of scattered songs on there, but I never really had like a full project. And then I was like, finally found out how to get mine on the DSPs and everything. So I was like, all right, let me start trying to get into my artist lane as far as doing projects, because I know if you want to build a fan base, like you gotta have projects. So I did the first one, which is a 7 tracks, really because I felt like I didn't want to do 10. I wasn't really good enough in my mind to like do a whole album.
Mm.
Like I don't even want to waste people. I know this time attention spans are like,
No, yeah, that's
so
real.
I'm like 7. I feel like it's short enough and it's long enough to be able to give them stuff, and then
Yeah.
also you didn't drown them in just too much work that they really kind of sleep on or
And you
don't
give
listen
so
to.
much substance. Like it's so much game all in just 7
Oh yeah,
tracks.
man.
Like
I'm definitely
especially
I'm gonna put my all into the 7 for sure. So that's the goal, every 7 to get better. So the next year when I did
mm.
that Peace Under Pressure, which was another 7, same process, you know, just kind of put my all into those 7 songs and try to shoot videos, whatever. But the third one was the last of that series, which was the 777, which I
To
called Just
just
My
my
Luck.
luck. Ooh.
So
And
that
he
was,
let me he put
yeah.
my
Come
outro on
on,
there. Ooh,
man.
I got so emotional when you did that. That was heavy.
Man,
Like
thank
when
you.
people put my voice, when y'all take my voice and y'all put it on y'all album, that's like a big deal.
It's like the
Like,
big shout out. It's like the
yeah.
feature, you know what
But
I'm
it's
saying?
like
Like,
that's y'all baby. Like that is a big deal, you know? So it's like to think that I'm even worthy of me yelling and screaming
man,
and
I
saying
try to
something.
do that,
Like,
especially now. Like I'm seeing, like with all the media that is mentioning me and stuff. I'll try to find somewhere to put it always. And like you were one of the first people to publicly, like you said, since I met you at the Live Fest, like you were on board, like you were rocking, you were
and
sharing,
we
you
was
were
locked
pushing it.
in.
Yeah, so it was like you was really the first one, honestly, to like openly do that. So that was like off the go, you know what I mean? But I definitely always try to incorporate anybody that's showing love, especially. You know, it's a lot of negative stuff. It's a lot you see
And
all,
yeah,
yeah.
oh my
Love is
God.
love, man. Hold on to
How do you
that.
be feeling
Yeah.
when you see all this like chaos going on?
Just don't even dig into it. That's what
Just
they supposed to do. They media, like let them do their job. Like it's just like if you look at industry
yeah.
wise, like Breakfast Club was one of the biggest platforms, but they was probably the like messiest.
Messy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Charlemagne
like
was out of control.
I feel like now that Vegas is understanding like the media game, they understanding also tactics and things that come with that can probably excel them in that lane. So I feel like it's just the artist, you gotta like know when to turn it on and turn it off.
How do you control that? Like, have you ever heard something about yourself in media and you like, I just want to react so bad, but I'm gonna let it go.
Nah, nothing really got to me at that point yet, but the funny one was definitely the French Montana.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
was just
that
about to
was
ask you
funny.
about that. How do you feel? I don't hear it. I don't
Yeah,
see
no, I
it.
know. It was
How does that feel
I get
when
it.
you
I get it because as far as like a lot of things can relate as far as image and stuff like that. So I get where people where they
I
pinpoint
see
their
but
shit record power and stuff. There's a lot of things that people hear that you don't hear when you hear your music. Like we think what we think when we hear it.
I just don't hear it in your
Somebody else
music
might, but I
either.
mean, as far as that, I kind of know in general, the more you go up, there's gonna be crazy comparisons. Like some that
Yeah.
make sense, some that don't. Like it's just part of the
Yeah.
game.
It's because I'll be like,
Yeah,
nobody ever
but
compared me to
what
Nikki.
what
So
they say, like if they not saying nothing at all, it's kind of better. Like if somebody
that
say he
is
sound
true.
like Fresh Montana, he ain't do no, he don't, but they go listen to the music, that's really a win. So I accept it. I take it.
I like how you flipped
I'm
that right
saying you
there.
gotta take it. Like it's still getting talked about. So if it could lead them to your page or whatever, they might have went and heard the freestyle after that.
That
And
is
then they
true.
might have said, "French, what? What?" No, I'm just
Like,
playing.
no,
Well, yeah,
it's
like
crazy. I was. That's what I said. I was like, I don't. y'all, I don't get it, but everybody has like different ears. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
have
but
you
I
ever?
love it all. I love it. It's all love. I know it wasn't definitely nothing in no like
Yeah,
negative light. Like it's fun. Like I try to have fun with it too because a lot of this stuff is funny too. And if you just take like I know it's hard if something's about you. It's definitely hard to take out the
just
like the
laugh.
bias in it.
Yeah,
But like obviously when I'm just watching stuff, sometimes like some of the media they make me laugh just talking about a bunch of different stuff. So it's like there's a comedy aspect in it too, and it's like you kind of just gotta have fun with that part.
I like how you did that. And also, so are you in Over the Map? I always Over the
Oh
Map.
yeah, no, I got you. On the map.
On the Map, dang, because it's Over the Top LV. Y'all
Yeah, no, I
always mix
got
their
you.
names up.
Yeah,
Are you
nah.
guys still doing your show? Because y'all had like something going for a minute.
So that's actually his podcast on the map of yeah, I definitely like visited his platform a couple times just because I liked his setup and everything he had going. But they definitely my guys, man. They just actually was there part of that point after video that me and Sally did. They he actually just today posted the behind the
Oh, can we
scenes. So
talk
like
that
that's
video?
another thing I try to just keep people involved like that I'm cool with, that I built relationships with over the year. Like I try to find
Yeah.
some type of way to just keep working together.
Where was y'all at when y'all shot that video?
On the east.
Like what
Right
park
on,
exactly?
Pecos in Washington.
'Cause I'm about to be right out there and remaking the same
Right.
video. Like, cause y'all went crazy. Like,
Man, it was so fun, man, and honestly, those drone shots really, I feel like, took it over the board, like, it was crazy because that night, when we went nighttime, we was kinda just the last shots we did was the drone shots, and, we just trying stuff, but when we got those drone shots down, we like, "Bro, this is really gonna be, like, crazy."
so y'all was out there shooting together and then turning into artists as well.
Yeah, so the Selly was actually, for the most part, obviously my solo scenes and all of that, he was able to shoot that. We definitely had people like on the map there. CC, that's with Sodi as well. Like people that were just able to hold the cameras when needed. That way we could do our shots together, do Selly solo
And
shots.
that's how you get
And
it
that's
done.
just make it work
It's
at the end of
really
the
that
day.
simple.
Like
It's
that's
like,
really what he got his whole equipment and everything for. Just that way we could all put our resources together and start getting the visual end of it down.
and you're like so creative. So like I would just wonder like when Mikey Picasso is putting together a visual, what are
Mhm.
some things you go for? Like how do you build your video?
I feel like just me being me, the first thing I'm always be like, all right, what am I gonna wear?
I
Like,
knew it.
what am I
I
gonna wear?
knew
Like,
it. There
because I
it is.
already know I'm gonna get hella pictures taken of, hella
You
behind the
finna go
scenes, hella
crazy.
like whatever you rocking your fit at that point is
I
number
wouldn't even
one.
stand next to you in my
That's
best fit.
number
I'm like,
one. Just
man, Mikey
like,
always gotta
yeah.
come in here shitting on us. Like, this
Yeah.
crazy.
And then you gotta think about the video too. If there's like a theme or concept to it, you gotta kind of match that. But
Yeah.
I always sit down with whoever it is that we making it. Like for this one with Sully, and we just think of concepts, ideas. We talking about color grades. I want the tone to look like this,
Co-
like all different
It's
stuff, just to make it
because
look
niggas
like
don't be color
different.
grading the videos.
Come
I'm like, looking
on,
real
like
dry.
sometimes that color grade, just one little bit of a difference could
Just
go crazy.
boom.
Like
Makes it pop.
I try to tell people like just one thing, man. Think about that post that you do
N-
when people see it. Like, what
Yeah.
are they gonna think when they see your post go up on the story?
And everything about you, like I've never you're just always very professional with how you do everything. Like your brand, how you roll out your music. It's like you
Tell them we
got
was on time today. We started at 6
and
p.m. on the
and
dot.
Mikey was on
On
time.
the dot.
That camera started. That's probably the first time that happened at 6 p.m.
Hey,
You feel me? Because we got Mikey Picasso. Let me ask you. So, where did you pick? How did you pick the Picasso? Part of your
uh,
name.
so that was basically. I did always want to be like an artist. Like I didn't want to just be
You're just
rapping.
so
I knew I
cool,
could, but
man.
I was like, eventually I'm gonna get to that point. So that's why I did Picasso, so that people don't just call me like a rapper.
I
Like
like
they
that.
get it. They get the artist aspect of it.
But like even with your lyrics, like you really paint like great pictures.
Yeah, I
Like
be trying.
just my luck. I feel like it was my favorite until y'all dropped this East Side alumni,
Yeah,
and then
and as
it's
it
like
should
you
be, as it should
elevate.
be.
You
Remember
do
I told
elevate
you
each
every 7
project.
got better, and then obviously honestly, I mean, my next project that's solo is also gonna be 10 records, like to me more of a full length album.
Yeah,
A little bit of a shorter, but more than my 7. And this one was kind of like a bonus one that came that I had like a chance to be a part of. So that definitely one I learned a lot. It just too built me time, like, and gave me like
yeah.
going into this one that I'm about to drop by myself. Like I know how I could really attack it. But yeah, man, it's supposed to get better every time.
And you
It
do. Are we
should.
gonna get like more videos off this project, or y'all just gonna give us
Yeah,
one? Because
cause I didn't
y'all
drop.
move on quick, and
Yeah,
we
no,
need them
no, I
visuals. So
understand. So look, just my luck. I didn't even drop no visual.
you
And the
didn't.
crazy thing is, we shot it too, but that's another thing. Like I really critique and sit on stuff, and I don't do stuff just to
Mm.
say like, "Hey, I did a video, count it on my list." Like,
Yeah,
give me
it gotta
my
be done
assist, give me
right.
my
Yeah,
point. Like, sometimes it don't make sense. Why do all of that to drop it just to get like uh 30 likes or something? You know what I
no,
mean? And like, and it just goes on to the next thing. So it's like I feel like it just has to make sense when you do it. So like I said, even with music we sat on, video sat on, no, don't do this. We want to do this first, do this first. So I feel like you
yeah,
should be picky with yourself about the one you choose to drop and pursue, because if you don't even feel that comfortable promoting it, why'd you even drop it?
that
And
is
if I drop
true.
the video and then a week later I'm like, I don't even feel, I'm not even feeling this,
I just
like,
want to take this
no, let's
down.
shoot
Like,
another video. Let's take time
yeah,
and not drop it right now. Shoot it at another time and drop it, at this time just to make it make sense.
yeah. So, are you one of the people like if someone's editing your video, do you have to be in the room, or you just kind of?
Depends on who it is, man. I mean, there's certain people that I've sat down with. There's certain people that I kind of trust their vision, but they're also everybody I work with is pretty lenient. So whenever I do have a request, I could just be like, because they'll send me like a preview, and I'll like this part, this part, this
Yeah.
part. It's usually rare though, man. I trust people's creative process if I'm working with them for sure. But if there's like a shot that I absolutely hate, or I'm like,
Take it
bro,
out.
yeah, take
But
that
you just
joint
be like
out,
so chill. Like,
man. You
are
will
you
be
very
surprised,
controlling
man.
over your brand though? You probably just hide it all behind the scenes, but
Yeah, no. As far as visually now, for sure, just because I've done so many videos as well, so I don't want stuff to just be the same video over and over
facts.
as well. So I definitely got to try to push and make that different. Clothes wise too, I've taken losses, taking
Mm,
losses, getting packs
that's
going bad.
ain't
Like
that the
what?
boy?
You
You get
know,
all this shit.
you
You think you
know.
finna sell out?
Yeah,
Oh
what?
shit!
You
Everybody
left
get
with
some
a
free shit. I
30
mean, and
pack.
yours is actually I just do some simple shit. Boom. But that is
No, but just yeah,
so. What
that
are some
stuff
things
makes me
you
cautious.
learn from with clothing and how to properly drop merch and not waste money, not lose it.
So I feel like you gotta kind of think on a bigger scale. So as far as like stuff like this or like tees that I have just my logo on, it's never a bad thing to have those in stock. If you
Hmm.
sitting on a bunch of those, it's never a bad thing. Because if you have a show, you can have a table, you can use that. What if your site does go viral and you get 30 orders and you got 6 tees? Now you got to go make all these
Like,
tees for
oh
this order. So it's
shit,
like
yeah.
I feel like with certain items you should have available at all times, or try to like have a stock of,
Come on,
because
talk
you
to
can
me.
use it.
Please put
Yeah,
me in
not all of
check.
it is a L or a
Because
waste.
I
But those ones that are like super expensive to make, or like you trying something different, you doing multiple things, like
yeah.
you have to put in more work to get this done, get this done. Those are the ones I feel like you should do some pre-orders on, or like, put a deposit, or like,
Yeah.
just be more careful with those, because you don't want to spend a lot of money or time and effort into something and then it doesn't move and then you kind of stuck with it.
Facts. So do you do everything yourself or do you have like a team or
Definitely
people?
team, especially on the clothing lines. I got people that are local that I could get like stuff from, as far as like the clothes itself, and then people that print and do stuff as well. But I'll get there eventually. But right now, I gotta have my hands like
I
connected with a
feel
few
that.
people.
Eh.
Let's make this. Like we
Right.
gotta do it
So
together.
the East Side is I'm just so proud to see y'all finally
Coming up,
getting talked about. You know what I'm
coming
saying?
up.
Like, and I feel like it's some of the most unique talent on the East Side of Las Vegas. So let's get a little personal. Like, what was it like for Mikey Picasso growing up on the East Side?
It was cool,
You, was you
man. I
what kind
feel
of kid
like
was you, Mikey?
I was
You
so
was
cool,
cool,
man. I
huh?
was chill. I'm the same person, honestly. Like
I
a
can
lot of
see
people
that.
would be like, "Man, you've been the same like for the longest." But I was definitely just trying to get fly.
You so funny.
Yeah, for real.
Just put
That's
that shit
that's it.
on.
Like I just older brothers, like looking up to that. Like that whole era, same thing. Just try to have as many shoes as you can. I
Yeah.
definitely tried sports. Honestly, wasn't good at them, but I definitely like hung around that for a minute just to keep me out of trouble. And then, I mean, on the East, we always had conversations like Wayne. We was big Wayne fans, so I used to always have the
Ooh,
Wayne like
yeah.
ahead of time, and like a lot of people would ask me about that as well. Just so I always like,
Oh, you was one who got the exclusive. You
yeah,
ain't
I used
share it
to
though.
have
People
Wayne
used to be
drop
like, I got that
something.
new
I had
Wayne.
it, yeah,
I
for
ain't sharing
sure.
it though.
Like people used to really be like, "Yo, like he knows about
What
that."
high
Like
school did you go to?
Desert Pines and Vegas. So both, yeah.
So you knew. So a lot of y'all grew up together then, like you, Sally, Leaning Low, because y'all always like Desert Pines,
Yeah, so, like,
Vegas.
honestly, that's how the East is
I was over
really,
there at El
like
Dorado.
oh, yeah, so you was
You
right
feel
down
me?
the street, and
You
we
feel
know
me?
a lot of
Hey,
people, like I didn't even know that as well, cause you meet people also when you get older, like Lo, I just
facts.
recently met. Obviously, you see me and you just recently met,
Yeah.
so there's different eras and time frames too, but, like, a majority of it, you're connected somehow or way, like, you'll know somebody, like, from all of those schools that are right there, but yeah, man, it was fun.
We was lit
It
over
was
there.
fun,
You know what
man.
I like on the East Side Alumni Project when you were doing a food order on the
Yeah,
tip. That was so
yeah.
dope to me. Where you was ordering that food at?
So that's the song is called "The Point After." That's actually the spot that's on Pecos in
Talk
Washington.
to
We shot part of the video at the spot where it used to be, and my uncle Joe really worked there. So that
Oh,
was like
that's
why we had
dope.
did that. That's why that last bar I was
That's
like, I gotta
dope.
stop and get these
Oh,
wings from my uncle Joe because that's how it was. Like I just remember going home, my mom be like, "Hey, stop and get these wings real quick
yeah.
before you come home." So like that was just something that it made sense. We was in the studio too, same thing. Like we just did the verses, nothing was in between. And then
Yeah.
I was just playing like doing the order, and Sally's like, "No, go in the booth. You gotta record that.
That's
That's fire."
so dope.
So
Like
it's just
real
little things like that that make the song better. I'm glad you noticed that.
I swear, because it's like, growing up on the East Side, it was fun over there. It was lit. That's why when
And
people don't
I
put
well, I feel
respect
like
on us.
especially me, like the people I was around, like honestly, I never even try to say like I was involved with no street shit. We was cool. We was chilling.
You
Like
was
we was in the
partying.
hooping. We was in the
You was going
like
to the house parties?
man, that's why I really found out
Ooh.
I could like really get people
You was
rocking
out
with
there
me.
freestyling?
Man, the
What's
whole
the first time Mikey ever rapped?
ever
Tell me
a
this.
long time ago. I used to play around when I was like 12, like on some when we had the the iPod Touch.
Oh,
Those things, I
ooh,
think
the
they extinct
throwback.
now. I
Ooh,
think they
yeah,
like
you can't
you
find
probably
it.
can't even get that on Amazon.
Yeah, no. So you started rapping at 12, and then you would
Yeah,
go
like
rap at.
I would call that like a parody rap. Like it was like very funny. Like I was like obviously a child. I didn't even my voice hadn't even like
So
it
when
was
did you?
just funny. But there was like I was actually recording something. So I guess I was learning if you think about it.
You was at the house parties freestyling?
Yeah, so really I already knew it got to a point where I was like every place we knew, I'm like, I already know they're gonna play a beat. Like, let's
Mikey,
start
come on,
rapping.
rap.
So I used to have bars in the tuck. I was like, I already
Can we get
know we're
some
gonna
bars? Mikey,
rap.
you got some bars for us?
Yeah.
Can we get some bars?
Man, let me get a no,
Uh,
just no, we ain't gonna do that
all
right
right,
now.
all right, all right, all right. So you was out there, you was cooking them at the
Yeah,
house
so no,
party.
yeah, man. Honestly, that's where I really just kind of learned that.
So freestyling is like it was easy for you.
I wouldn't say freestyling because I was always writing shit. Like I
Mm.
was always just having bars that I would have in my head, and like whenever I would say something like playing around, I'm like that's actually dope. I'm gonna write that down because I'm probably gonna use it.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about? Because I feel like now everybody feel like, oh, I don't have to write, I could just punch in. What is your thought on that?
It goes hand in hand because honestly, half of that Eastside Alumni album was writing, and like half of it was punching.
Yeah, but do you?
And that was like my first time really doing that. Like that's
Mm,
like mainly how like Selly and them record. So a couple sessions, like I'll bring stuff that I have verses ready for to record. We'll knock it out. But then when we chilling and he like playing a beat, like he's coming up with his verse on the spot. He's coming up with hooks. I'm coming like just trying stuff. So it's like
how do
we
y'all mind
going.
work that fast?
I feel like it's just rhythm. You just finding something that's really gonna sound catchy, and then fill it in later.
So you do the hook first, and then you
Yeah,
build
so
the.
but sometimes I'll do the verse. It depends because if I'm deep in the verse, like if I'm barring, I'm going crazy. I'll like stick to that. But then I'm like, all right, it'd be perfect if I said something catchy right here.
Yeah.
Throw
Oh,
them
you do
off,
do that. You
slow
do
it
do
down, and then hit
that.
them with something catchy. That way they like, oh, what? Like he a little bit everywhere with it.
That's dope. So you do. So it's nothing wrong with writing. No, it's nothing wrong.
Man, I
It's
feel
it's
like
just do what
artists should
makes.
write. I feel like artists should definitely write. Like I'm the type of person, to be honest with you, I would like if I get a song mixed or if I record something and like later I'm like, it'd be way harder if I said it like this. I'll
Hmm.
go back and fix it.
Hmm.
Cause I'm like, if I drop it and I keep thinking like, man, I could have made that line so much better. Like, I'll go edit it. I just
That's.
feel like what you put in, but some people are very good at punching in and just going and going crazy.
Yeah, I
And
couldn't do
I
that.
will say there's one thing about punching in. A lot of times nothing really beats the energy you had on that first take.
Okay, and I do hear that, so I
I
can
went back
understand that
and,
part of
and
it.
and did that too. Like I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this line over again, and I went to go relay it, but for some reason the energy
Didn't
wasn't
hit
there as
this.
it was in that first one. I was like, you know what? I could take that bar being a little bit less of what it would have been because the
Yeah.
energy's there more. So I don't want to mess up the song trying to be too perfect. And like
That is
sometimes the
okay.
energy is a factor. So if you punching in and
Huge
that's where you got the
factor.
best energy at, you might want to stick
You
there.
might want to take that.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey. So, we on Hip Hop Lou. We on the couch. So what we do on the couch is I like y'all to speak 3 things into existence for this year. That's gonna happen. We gonna come back here. We gonna be like, he said that and it's done. Come on. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
So for sure I could say perform out of state.
Come
That
on.
definitely has to be one thing that'll be done this year. Definitely the Live Fest
Hmm.
in the city. So that'll be another thing as far as shows. And then what should I get a last one? I'm gonna get a last one to the merch, man. Definitely just like a crazy drop or like a crazy collaboration, something big as far as pop-up shop wise. I
Yeah.
definitely want to go crazy in a pop-up shop lane. So that'll be something else, like pop-up shops just strictly for the merch.
I love that. And it's gonna happen. You
Yeah,
feel me?
definitely. And
Now
I
are
look. So just to keep me accountable, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna add them to the vision board, and I'm gonna
thank you.
make sure
You
I
better
knock them
tell me
off.
something. You better
Yeah, I'm
tell
gonna
me
make sure
something.
I
I'm gonna
knock
be
them
right
off.
there like
Did he
with a
cross them
board at
off?
Mikey,
Yeah.
be coming to the end. Okay, so are there any artists that you would like to work with in the city that you have not yet worked with?
Man, that's a good question. So
Yo, top collab. You like, let's make that happen. Because guess what? I'm gonna make it happen. That's what I
okay.
like to do. I like to get all up in y'all business and bring everybody together.
So one person I feel like was dope, and he actually reached out to me about a collab as well. Was Toshi? You know Toshi that
Oh, is no. Oh no, I'm thinking about Toxic.
he's with Toxic
I'm
is dope too though. I'll definitely collab with Toxic. You know it's crazy. Toxic actually mixed my first song.
really.
Yeah. And that's when I was like beginner status as well. So I throw him in there now that I feel like I'm better. Like I definitely
Oh
would.
yeah, I would.
That would be a dope
Y'all
collab.
would freak some
Toxic.
shit for sure.
Toxic, Toshi. He's from Toto. He had performed with us that night at Ninja Karaoke that y'all had came to as well.
Wait,
Um,
which one was he? Was he like the rock guy?
kinda like he was turning up for sure.
He was the opener.
He was like right before or like after. No, not him, not him. I'll put you on for sure.
Okay,
I definitely
yeah.
I'll
Like,
put
oh
you
yeah,
on
put
for
me on.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so him and then I don't wanna what's his name up? I believe it's Magnifi.
Magnifi, you got it right.
Yeah, so he
No, it's Magnifi.
Neefy or
His
Niffy.
Instagram name Neely, but
Okay.
Magnifi, you got
So
it right.
he's another artist as well
Oh,
that
that's so
he
dope.
reached out
Yeah.
and he's dope too. Like I pay attention to everybody, man. It's just different artists that like I look with that I would work with. Iris C. I
Oh,
definitely do a song with Iris.
yes, that has to happen right there. And
Yeah.
thank you. You put my girl on that Live Fest, and that was dope, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I pay attention. I just people that got good music or a good
Yeah.
image or like a good brand, like anything like that. Like I'd definitely be willing to collab. Shit, man. I don't even got a record with FTS Guapo.
Really? Well, you right up
Ironically,
in there to
yeah,
mix
so
now.
that's
Let's
it.
go.
But to be honest with you, like I'm super rare about collabs, so now that I am more open to it now as well. And I feel like this
Yeah.
project was the first time just like doing something like that. So I'm open to it. I already know there's a lot of people that I'm gonna collab
Yeah.
with, and
And
it's gonna
that's
be
dope. I
crazy.
mean,
It's gonna be
sometimes you gotta
crazy.
just build my name first, and then
Yeah,
I get out
it
here
make
and do
more
all
sense,
this.
man, because you bring more value to the collab. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I've also like just certain collabs as well just didn't work out due to timing and just because I don't want to half-ass nothing either.
Nah, I feel that.
I
You
wanna make
are
sure, like, especially if it's a collab, because you getting a second pair of eyes outside of your normal
come
audience, so
on now.
you
It's
gotta make
like
sure it's,
I'm finna
like,
tap in
anything
over
you
here.
featured on, you
Okay.
going crazy.
You have to snap, but you go snap like you did on Fifth
Yeah,
Element.
but
It's
no,
like,
I'm definitely I'm in a
woo!
different bag right now for sure, I could say that, like
I
you
can
had,
see
you know what I'm
that.
saying? I feel the energy, so I'm definitely just kinda looking into this,
Feeling
year,
good this year.
excited.
You
Just got
feeling
that,
good?
like, I'm charged up, like, I'm got my
Yeah.
battery pack in, so
We mentally good.
yeah,
Everything good. We taking care
yeah.
of ourselves.
For sure. You know, outside of that, I just stick with the family, keep it cool. Like
That's
I
dope.
try to keep things easy.
Your daughter is so adorable. She
Live the
just
simpler life. You feel
does
me?
it ever get like challenging, like being an artist and being
For
the family
sure.
man?
Just cause of timing. Just cause of timing. Like
Yeah.
what you got to put time aside for to do everything, and then also you got to keep a balance and have enough time for that as well. So that I probably would say is like one of the hardest things. But in the long scheme, I feel like it's gonna be make more sense.
Mm.
Because it's also a structure that's built and like kind of like an understanding and just knowing where it's going. But I got to do things on mine as well just to make it make sense.
Such a cool
has to make
Mikey, I think
sense,
you like
man.
top 3 coolest people in the world. I
Man,
just
I've
be
been hearing
like,
that since.
you just walk in the room, it's like you floating across that motherfucker, and you come in with some glow in the dark pants, and I'm like, where the
Hey, you
hell would
see,
you even find those
I do
pants?
want to shout you out for that big shout out you did after the underground show, and you just shine light on that how like I really went crazy,
I was
and then
just
just even
I love to
something
see
as
it,
small
man.
as that, like the pants. I knew that was another thing. Like I'm about to step in this room, I'm about to stand out.
You
Like
do like the little things that
yeah,
make
it's
such a
just
big impact. It's
everything
like,
counts, every little
pay
detail.
attention to what he's doing. So, Mikey, before we let you get out of here, like, what can we expect? What we got? What we looking forward to this year?
So definitely now my solo project, which will be 10,000 hours, that'll
Okay.
be dropped this year for sure.
I just gonna say 10,000 songs. It was like,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah, I'm
Mikey,
loaded up, man.
shit. You gonna
Already.
be good for
Hey,
the
we
next
done
5
with those
years.
7-track
Right.
albums.
He
Throw
said,
'em
I'm
out
finna
the
go to 7 to
window.
10,000.
Put me on my repeat. Nah,
Yeah, he gonna take up the whole year. We can't listen. We gotta finish 10,000 songs.
nah. So definitely 10,000 hours. That'll be the solo project.
Okay.
Live Fest. Speaking that, new merch, man, and just more moves, man. Just making everything look good. I'll keep finding different ways to promote this album. Promotion, like as you can see now, starting when
Yeah.
we started, this is like the second wave of the album. We still got like 3, 4, 5, 6 waves of rolling this album out. So that's another thing I'm sticking
You hear
to.
what he giving
I don't
y'all?
care if they heard it one time and was like, this is dope, this
You
is not.
play it
Like, they
and
gonna go back again and again. And second half of the year, fourth quarter, we're gonna find a way to bring eyes back to it. Just I'm really like rolling this album out the
you
whole
have
year.
such a mainstream mindset. Like I love that about y'all. And I feel like a lot of you guys do. Like you, Selly, like I just see it. It's like they're just moving like they're already like on that level with
Well,
the
we
stars.
talked
And
about that a lot with the album. We was like, we already knew, like, we're independent artists, so we are not tripping
yeah.
off of first week sales. We are independent artists, bro. We don't got no label. Like, who is really pressing
Right.
us? Like, y'all
Right.
selling in the first week? Like,
Right.
that doesn't matter. We tripping off the first year.
Mm.
That's what we thinking, like the first year
Ooh,
sales, like
yeah.
because we want people
Wow,
to
that's
still listen to
yeah.
it next year and the year after that. So I feel like when you are with a label, then it's more pressure of like how
Like,
well did you do when it
Just
first
checking.
dropped?
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh no, you could keep bringing people back to it throughout the year, and as long as they keep talking about it, which I feel like they have, then we good.
You definitely gonna spend that for a
Come
long
on,
time.
man.
That's
There's
such a
records on
great
there that
body
got
of work.
replay value. I will say that. That's my favorite thing I feel like about the project is like
I just play 100
replay
spoke
value.
so many times.
Come on.
100 spoke. Like it's just so like cool how y'all came on there. All right, so we got so much coming. We're gonna do the Live Fest. We got the merch. We got the solo project coming. And you still finna get ran down on the East Side alumni. Mikey, let them know where to follow you, where to check out the music, where to get it, all that good stuff,
Yep, so I finally got it to where Mikey Picasso is spelled just like that is on me. There used to be somebody that had it, so I had to have an extra O. That is no longer. Mikey Picasso on every platform, even
Look at
Facebook,
that.
whatever it is. You could YouTube, whatever. It's gonna come up.
And it's gonna come up. Fuck the other
do
Mikey
some
Picasso. I'm
research.
just
I don't even know who he was.
I'm just man.
He was like an average guy, man. I don't know,
It's like,
man.
no, we
I'm
got a
like,
real
bro, we got
Mikey
something going right
Picasso.
now, man.
Stop
You gotta
playing.
give that up.
He probably had just a fucking gamer
He
channel.
probably got a bag. He probably up 100 mil. We don't even know.
That's right. We
Yeah,
gonna
so
find
he's
him. Where your ass at? Come put it over here behind Liv since you want to be Mikey Picasso. How about that? Man, thank
That's
y'all for
crazy.
watching. Mikey, thank you so much for coming, man. Thank you for always
Thank
showing me
you.
love, being supportive, and not just to me, but to everybody. Like I tell you all the time, you're one of the realest in the game. You have a heart and a mind of
We gotta
just
keep
pure
going.